Hey, what's up, guys? We got some familiar faces here tonight. Danny Torres. We got Isaac, the usual suspect. Jordan, somewhat of a usual suspect. And then we got Joe Malfa here, special guest today, Plug Talk Sports. Thank you all for joining tonight. Joe, introduce yourself.
I'm excited to be here, guys. Happy to join in. Danny, we met over a year ago now, before the pandemic started. FIU baseball came in, did a game. It was against Pepperdine. It was a wild, down the wire game. But I'm down here in the Fort Lauderdale area. I call games for USL, League One and Championship, NWSL. Every now and then get a little MLS World Feed action in. I'll have some Gold Cup games going. So right now we're doing MLS Next Cup. So a lot of good things going on, having a lot of fun. And, trying to deal with the South Florida rain right now because it has not let up. This is my first time that I'm down here this time of year, because last year with the pandemic, I didn't come back down till August. So this is my first time that I'm down here June, beginning of wet season, and it stinks. I hate it. It's rough. It's been rough, but all good, man. All good.
Yeah, me and Joe, we had an interesting meeting. We had a baseball game. It was right before the pandemic hit. I believe it was a midweek Wednesday night game, and it went to 14 innings.
Yeah. It was a late comeback too. It was going at a record pace. We were through 7 innings in an hour and a half, and you and I were like, "Oh, this is going great." And then all of a sudden,
I remember that game actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac was working.
Yeah, we were working that game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is that game, by the 13th, 12th inning, I really had to use the bathroom, and there's no way to get out of it. I got on the headsets. I'm like, hey, somebody's gonna have to come act as me and pretend as me and commentate, because I really gotta go to the bathroom. If not, Joe's gonna have to leave the room. Gonna have to bring a bucket or something, because if we go another damn inning, I don't think I can hold it. I had class early the next day.
There's a rumor that Joe Buck does that every now and then, where he'll have a little cubby in his broadcast booth. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but it's been floated out there now and then on Twitter. So you know what? Hey, you wouldn't have been the first. You wouldn't have been the last if that needed to happen.
I don't blame you. I don't blame him. And we've had a couple run-ins indirectly. I mean, we just worked the USL game. You were commentating over at Vista, and I was at the stadium. And I was texting him, like, hey, man, the weather doesn't look too good.
Yeah, exactly to that point, what I was saying with the weather. That game almost didn't happen that night, but we got through it. So
Yeah. So, guys, what we start off our show with, as always, is your plug and shameless plug of the week. We'll start off with shameless. It's the worst thing you saw in the past week. And we'll start with Joe. What is the worst thing that you've seen in the past week?
All right, so you said this could be sports or non-sports, and I feel like if I go non-sports, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and I don't know how deep I want to get. So I'm going to keep it sports. I'll let you guys go with whatever you want. I'm going to keep it sports. The worst thing I saw this week, and I feel bad for saying this, but Giannis Antetokounmpo shooting free throws, man. I've been watching that series, and I can't get over it every time he goes to the line. The Hawks fans start counting. They get up to 11. They're counting fast, but they get up to 11, 12, 13. And then after all that, the 17 dribbles he takes and whatnot, goes and airballs a free throw. So that's definitely been the worst, ugliest thing I've seen this past week.
Yeah, that was awful. I think it was a video of James Harden getting frustrated.
Yep.
Because he was taking way too long on the free throw.
You want me to go best thing too, or are we going around the horn with the worst thing first?
We're going all around the horn with the worst thing first. So, Jordan, you're up next.
Mine was literally going to be what he said, so that's actually funny. But I guess I'll probably go with freaking World Cup champions France losing to Switzerland, which should not have happened. Crazy game. But, yeah, I guess that'll be my worst thing I saw. They should have won. They have too many stars on that team to allow Switzerland to beat them in a round of 16. No chance. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, for sure. Isaac?
For me, it was the Mariners' Hector Santiago, who had a sticky substance on his glove and got tossed the first pitcher in the MLB recently to get kicked out for, foreign substances on the glove. He's the first victim. He's a 10-year veteran. This is not a rookie or something. So he should have known better, especially now that they're checking the pitchers. That's the worst thing I saw this week.
Yeah, dude. After they implemented that rule, and there's actually people that have been getting ejected, not even because they have a substance, just because they're frustrated they're getting checked.
Yeah.
That usually means that you're getting caught doing something.
If you don't want to get checked, you're probably guilty. There's probably a reason you don't want to get checked.
Yeah.
Exactly. For me, probably the worst thing I saw this week, this is non-sports related, but it's going to have to be everything at Surfside, man. That really rocked our community really bad. I think it's probably one of the worst things that's happened in our community, and I have no words. There's no words that I can say that can help any of those people and those family members, and just credit to all of the first responders that are trying to do as much as possible. So yeah, we'll go around the horn. Now it's the best thing you saw this past week. Joe, go ahead, lay it on us.
It's got to be the Euro action, man. Starting with the beginning of the week, you had the end of the group stage. You had that day with the Denmark match at the same time as the Belgium game going on. And there was like a couple minutes there where Denmark, obviously, in the light of all that happened with Christian Eriksen, they're the darlings of the tournament. They needed to win by 2 goals and have Belgium win. In the span of a couple minutes, Belgium gets a goal that gets taken away by VAR, and then Denmark, because of VAR, concedes a penalty. So they went from qualified in that moment to now back to having to come back again. And then the way those goals all came like an avalanche in the last 5 minutes, it was just one after the other. And simultaneously, Belgium gets the goals they needed. And then that started the week. And now today, you had something we'll probably never in our lifetimes ever see again. 2 games, same day, 3-1. Yeah. And in the last quarter hour, 2 goals, the tying goals, both in the 90th minute, to go to extra time at 3-3. Never going to happen again. Never.
Yeah,
and it's just
absolutely insane.
Incredible that it happened the same day. Let alone, if it happened the same round, if it would have happened the other day and then tomorrow, the first round of 16 game and the last round of 16 game, all right, could happen. The odds of that happening may be decent, but back-to-back games, same day, incredible.
Yeah, I agree. When's the last time you ever saw that happen? It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get Pogba's goal out of my head too from the France game. The way that he curled it. I mean, it was just so beautiful. You thought the game was going to end there, but I don't know. I'm happy for both for the underdogs.
Jordan, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm going to continue with the soccer. Soccer's so fun, and the game is so awesome. And I always bring up COVID when I'm on, but dude, seeing the fans in the stands, shirts off, dude, I love seeing that, man. I'm so excited that the fans are back. Everything's back. The soccer is just incredible. I mean, Benzema scores 2 goals. They were down 1-0. Benzema scores 2 goals in, I don't know, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, back to back. And Pogba score at Switzerland just never gave up, and the soccer is incredible. NBA playoffs are crazy. I mean, sports right now it's fun, and the Suns crowd is back. Stadiums are getting filled, so I'm loving sports because everything's getting back to normal.
Isaac,
for me, NBA playoffs. I mean, Euro 20. I mean, today, I picked my plug a little earlier in the week. Today was awesome for soccer, but the NBA playoffs so far have been great. Danny, you had suggested the Atlanta Hawks would beat the Milwaukee Bucks. How do you feel about that right now?
Hey, man, look, they played a really good game yesterday. They really did. Okay. You got to give it. Trae Young has looked more like the MVP than the real MVP has. A real MVP got swept.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not counting the Hawks out yet. I think that the Hawks are still in it.
I'm counting them out if Trae is not 100%.
He's listed as questionable for Game 4.
Questionable, and he might play, but if he plays, will he have the same explosion? Because what makes him so dynamic is the fact that you can't defend him for the 3 or for the drive. If you give him space, he's going to pull up from 35. If you go tight to him, he's going to explode around you and hit the floater. So if he can't explode off that ankle, maybe he plays and he'll still knock down 3 or 4 threes, but but then he turns into more of a spot-up shooter, and then all of a sudden he's like an actually good version of Joe Harris, and that's not the same if it takes away the explosion from his game. So if he's not 100%, the series is over.
I agree with that. I think my plug of the week, best thing, I have to go with today, continuing soccer, my Spain.
It's hard to argue.
I don't know if Jordan was talking crap. I didn't see his tweets today. I was busy working.
I was.
Isaac definitely was. We had a conversation about this. You guys should have seen me. When Unai Simon missed that pass back and he went to the back of the goal, I was devastated. I was sitting at work, just on the desk, I didn't know what to say. I was like, there's no way we're going to lose like this. There's no way that Spain is going to go out with that goalie mistake. Luckily, we came back. We won. We're in the semifinals. We got quarterfinals, excuse me. We're in a matchup that we wanted. We get Switzerland instead of France. Not saying it's going to be easy, but I'd rather have Switzerland than France, to be honest. And I'm happy. I'm a happy man. I think we can get to the semifinals.
When I was working today, we had an early morning MLS Next Cup game that I was calling, so I missed the first half an hour of the Spain game, so I missed the goalkeeper error. I get out of work. I see an alert on my phone, Spain go down because of goalkeeper error. I'm like, did David De Gea start today? What happened? Like, I thought De Gea started.
Ooh, you're gonna hurt some feelings around here. We got some Man United fans around here.
Jordan's a huge Man United fan.
No.
And he knows.
No, it's definitely me feeling the pain on that one. Yeah.
So, guys, off to our first topic. I want to get back to this. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on seeing our local teams with obviously the tragedy that happened at Surfside, seeing our local teams reacting, so fast as they have, the Heat, the Marlins, Inter Miami. What do you guys think that means, for people in our community to see our local teams do something like that? Whoever wants to jump in and say something, go ahead.
I'll let you guys start with this one because, like I said, it's my adopted community now, so it's your guys' place. I'm just kind of renting it for right now, so I'll let you guys take it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think it's expected. As a big organization in Miami, a sports team especially, I think it's something you don't have to do, but you sort of have to do it. And that's just my opinion. And they, out of their kindness of their heart, they're helping out. But it's something that you expect the support from the community, to attend your games, to support your players and your organizations, no matter where you're winning or losing. When your community goes down or they're hurt, we expect the same back from them, and they have stepped up, the Dolphins and the teams that you named. So I want to say it's expected, and they definitely stepped up to the challenge. This is nothing. I mean, this is Miami-Dade County. Like, this is not a third world country. Like, this is not something that's supposed to happen. Buildings are not supposed to come down like this, and it's crazy. And we're dealing with it, and the first responders are doing an amazing job, and it's very sad. It's very sad, but we have to come together as a community and help out as much as possible.
Yeah, I think like this whole ordeal, and seeing the teams come together, it represents that word that you mentioned, community, and it's different organizations, sports teams, just getting together, and whether it's like handing out a bottle of water to the workers or whatever, small or big, help they can give. I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, and yep. I can say from the Inter Miami perspective, a lot of these players are international. They're not even from the Miami community, and I saw that they were really impacted and moved by what happened. And a lot of those players live in that area. They live down by the beach. A lot of them live in that area, and after the loss that they had against Orlando City, in the press conference, even after a loss, like a defeating loss, Phil Neville, Blaise Matuidi, first thing they started out the press conference with was talking about Surfside community, not even about the game. And they spent a few minutes on that. So I think it's really important for the entire community, especially for kids, to see that their local teams and guys that are on the team that are not from this community care about the community and are showing that type of leadership.
And throughout COVID and the whole past year, as tough as it's been for everybody, seeing now with fans coming back, how much the fans and the teams are truly interconnected. And then again, seeing it like this, if you haven't realized in the last 14, 15 months just how important sports are to every community across the country. I know people every now and then who maybe aren't sports fans are like, oh, it's just a game. Like, why do you care so much about it? Well, we care so much about it because it's part of the fabric of our community, and they care about us, and we see that in a time like this. So it's just part of everybody's DNA, and it's great to see them all out there in such a tough time.
Definitely. And I feel like during that COVID time on lockdown, like it just, life didn't feel the same without sports. It felt really weird.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Just because, again, like we're seeing now, like Jordan mentioned earlier, just seeing fans back at events, like the emotion of it all, the interconnectivity of it all among the fans, from fan to fan, from player to player, from fan to player, like it's all there. And it's not just, I think back to like sticking Miami for you guys here. I think D Wade hopping up on the scorers table, celebrating that game in the Miami Vice jerseys, was that like 3-4 years ago now. And that was like a relatively meaningless regular season game. Like I don't think the team made the playoffs that year, but like everybody still cared because he's part of this community and they're all part of his lives as well. So when that was just gone for so long and now it's back again, I think it gave us a greater appreciation for it. And then now to have this happen, as things are opening up and as we're seeing fans at events again, it's even more of a stark reminder, like, yeah, this is important. Like sports are important. Teams are important. The players are just as connected to the community as the community is connected to the team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree on that one. And something now me and Isaac are going to talk about regarding Plug Talk Sports, two things. The first thing me and Isaac will mention is we just finished working. We're in the works of the project, but it's going to get done. Plug Talk Sports is partnering with Lemon City Live, who is obviously our partner platform, who allows us to have this show every Monday night, and it's helped us, have the access to credentials for professional sports teams and allowing us to write and be on their website. We are partnering on the first game of the season for FIU on September 2nd against Long Island. We're going to have a food drive. So everybody going to that game will be able to drop off food, whether you're at the tailgate or you're just a family going to the game, regular student going to the game. You're able to donate. We will be there. And that food donated will go to the FIU student pantry for students who aren't as fortunate to have as much food as possible. So we're doing that. That's in the works. And then Isaac, let's speak about our video that we just shot for our brand T-shirts we just created. Yeah. You can go ahead and speak a little bit about that and what was our idea and thought process and how we got that done.
Well, one of the first things I think one of the first conversations we had, Danny, we were talking about the Jimmy Butler basically welcome to Miami video. He goes to Domino Park. He gets, the hat, the nice little guayabera, you know what I'm saying? And that was like a welcoming experience, for him, like to give him a taste of Miami, right? So we wanted to do that in a way too, where we're connecting the community as well as, Plug Talk and our brand and what we're trying to do with, this show and all that, right? So we went to Domino Park and we almost got kicked out, and beat up. I'm just kidding. No, we didn't. We didn't. But we walk in there and
really intimidating, by the way.
Yeah, because it's like all these, older people just staring at you, they're like, and that's like that was the first experience when we sit there. So I remember Steven and yourself, Danny, were asking each other we supposed to be here, whatever, is it okay? Something's off here, whatever. Meanwhile, the guy that was supposed to tell us, the security guard there, or I don't know, he was a vendor or something. Yeah. He was supposed to tell us about the membership because you need a membership to play dominoes there. We didn't know that. He was asleep. Like when I first sat down, like Steven points at me, he's like, "Look," and the guy was like asleep in his chair, or whatever, on the job. So whatever, we start playing. We're like 3 or 4 games in. The guy finally comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, you need a membership to play here. If you can tell, like these people are a little older. They live around here." And so we're like, "Okay, we'll play one more game," and he let us finish the game or whatnot. So then we went to Sandwich, right? Is it Sandwich, the name of the place? Sandwich in Little Havana, and that was awesome, dude. Like that. What did I have?
First of all, I just want to mention
that's what I had.
I just want to mention that you had an entire colada of Cuban coffee.
Oh, I did that.
If you've had Cuban coffee before, it's very wired and concentrated. So yeah. I had a little bit, in the little cups. After I had one, I was like, "No, I'm good." This guy gets the rest of the colada and just chugs it, and he's like, "I'm good." I'm like, "Dude, you're not gonna sleep for days."
I bought it so that the 3 of us could share for the photo shoot. It ended up being an Instagram story, okay, a little 2-second clip, Danny, that you posted. And I end up drinking the whole thing because I'm like, you guys aren't going to drink it. So,
well, I had some. Blame
I had
Steven.
to drink my money.
Steven didn't have any. Joe, you've had some Cuban coffee before, right?
Oh yeah. Down at Vista, it's like a melting pot in there. We got Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, we got Cubans, we got everybody in there, and then maybe once a week at least, especially on the busy days, a couple of the Cubans will go in there and they will make a pot and they will put it out for everybody. And they kind of compete with each other every now and then to kind of see who makes the best.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to say who it is, but there's one guy particularly who makes it the best. But no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Very concentrated coffee.
Yeah, that stuff is like jet fuel, basically.
Well, we're gonna get into our first sports-related topic. This is gonna be a fun one. Is Aaron Rodgers finally going to leave the Green Bay Packers? Anyone wants to jump on that one?
Like I'll say yes, but it doesn't even feel like a hot take. Like this guy's doing Jeopardy. This guy's doing a bunch of other stuff. Like he's showing Green Bay, like, I don't really need you guys. You know what I'm saying? I've built my own brand. I'm Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm doing State Farm commercials with the discount double check. I think either this offseason or a year from now, because I think he's still under contract, right, for like a couple more, maybe a year or so or something. So, yeah.
I think he's gone.
He's out of there. Yeah, I think
he's got to be out of there. And the one thing that's like making me a little hesitant is I thought it would have happened already.
Yeah, me too.
It only needed to happen after June 1st because of all the salary cap implications. June 28th, and that's 4 weeks. So now we're getting closer to training camp. There's still a bunch of teams who could obviously come knocking on the door, the Raiders, the Broncos, plenty of teams. You could go down the list. I mean, maybe there's 5 or 6 teams, if even, that would not want to give up their current quarterback situation for Aaron Rodgers. So you could throw almost every team in there. But it's just gotten to the point where he doesn't owe the city anything.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't even be a bad breakup. Like, it should just be like, look, I put everything into this team. He's not even mad about the Jordan Love thing. What he's mad about is they've never just given him a chance to go be great. They've said, you know what? You're so good. Go elevate the Marquez Valdez-Scantlings of the world and the other 7 guys at receiver and tight end who you can't name, and their only name is because of Aaron Rodgers. They never in his whole time there took a single skill position player in the first round of the draft until they took Jordan Love. And then last year, that it was a historic draft for wide receivers, they took quarterback, backup running back, blocking tight end with their first 3 picks. And they don't spend money in free agency. So it's just gotten to the point where they're clearly looking forward as a team. And it's not fair to him. The sand is slipping through the hourglass. And he looks at Tom Brady and sees that he left. And within a year, they gave him literally everything he wanted. And he won a Super Bowl. Now, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're different quarterbacks. Brady has more of that killer instinct. Rodgers is probably a more talented player purely. But he doesn't have that next level mentality that Brady does. So if he were to leave, he might not necessarily win like Brady did, but you get the point. Like Brady left.
Depends where he goes.
Depends where he goes. Depends where he goes. But he's just been there long enough, and they haven't given him anything. So it's time. It's just time to move on.
Jordan, you got anything?
Yeah, no,
I see you're very hesitant over there.
No, I agree. I mean, with all the scandal that's been going on, for him to just go back like everything's all good would be weird. I don't think. I mean, if he plays this season, he probably plays with no like. I don't want to say emotional effort because as an athlete, you want to win, but I think he's looking at a next chapter in his life. Like the Packers is like done, and so I see the Dolphins trade Tua and some first round picks, and we'll take them.
Well, hold on. Before we unpack that hot take, the other thing I wanted to say too is Jordan Love, if he's truly been as good as the reports about him have been throughout OTAs and stuff, that also could make the Packers more inclined to be like, you know what? Let's not even try to work on this anymore. Just you go here. We drafted him for a reason. We'll run with him. We'll see how it goes. So, but now I'll let you guys unpack the Miami thing with Tua because I'll stay out of that one as the Jets fan of the bunch over here. So I'll stay out of that.
Oh, Jets fan? Oh, Joe, I'm gonna start praying for you, man.
We're in good hands. Arrows pointing way up.
Jordan. Well, firstly, I'm gonna say that I think the Packers have not directly, but indirectly have shown Aaron Rodgers that they're moving forward. I definitely think he should leave. He should go show the Packers that he doesn't need them. He still has his talent. He can go great somewhere else and go win a Super Bowl with another organization. And I personally think that since Jordan threw in his vouch there and his recruitment, I'm going to throw in my recruitment, and I think the Cowboys should trade Dak Prescott and bring in Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers does not want to play for the Cowboys. There's no way he wants to play for the Cowboys.
Do you guys know how many times Aaron Rodgers has made me cry in the playoffs? This guy comes into Dallas with 2 seconds left, with missing one leg, and wins the game. Do you guys understand how many times that man has made me emotionally frustrated in my life?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback. So, I mean, I think any team, if they have the assets that the Packers want, I mean, unless obviously Seattle has Russell Wilson and like those type of teams, obviously you don't. But if there's a team that needs a quarterback, and I mean,
funny you mentioned that. I thought that'd be a great straight swap. Russell Wilson for Aaron Rodgers, straight up. Russell Wilson isn't happy in Seattle. Aaron Rodgers isn't happy in Green Bay. You just swap them. No other picks got to go either way. We're done. That's it.
That would be like one of the craziest trades like ever. Two super elite Hall of Fame quarterbacks, in my opinion. That'd be crazy.
Hey, just start calling every QB up in the league. Hey, you happy? Are you happy? Okay, just pick up Cam Newton. You're not happy, right? All right, let's make a deal.
Oh my God!
I don't know if Cam Newton's not happy. I don't think the Patriots are happy.
Having to deal with Dolphins, we think we have it. A chance to make deep runs in the playoffs and all that. That'll just be wiped clean. Rodgers.
But again, the Patriots don't have like those receivers like that. He doesn't. They don't have that star power offense that Aaron Rodgers would. What I think he's looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, the Dolphins got some star wide receivers. We just got Waddle. Like, hey, I'll trade next year's first round and second round pick and Tua. You can have those.
Please, you were the first one that said I want Deshaun Watson. Now you're like, oh no, I don't want him.
No, I'm saying
that's a given though.
If Deshaun Watson is not in legal trouble and they want to trade him for Tua, I would be okay with that. And if they want to trade, like I said, first round pick and a second round pick and Tua for Aaron Rodgers, there's no way you're saying no to that. There's no way.
You know,
Aaron Rodgers is proven.
The funny part is that even if they get Aaron Rodgers, Dolphins probably still won't get him out of the AFC East because that's just their luck.
It's true.
There's no way. I don't. There's no way.
Am I right, Joe? Jets take over the Dolphins.
Sure. Hey, I mean, I'm not going that bold yet.
I thought I was going to say the Bills, but
I will say this. We can't forget about the Bills as much as I hate the Bills. Things are looking good. The Jets finally built an offensive line. Late pickup of Morgan Moses into the equation as well. The receiving core, it's right up there now with all the talent that they got and they brought in. Defensively, they still have a couple of elite chips. Marcus May, they got Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley's coming back. And outside of that, it's just like a lot of young dogs who are ready to kind of prove themselves. And Robert Saleh proved with all the injuries last year to the 49ers. I mean, every week, there were like 2 guys going down every series, it almost seemed like at some points. Next man up, and that defense still was top 10 last year. So you got him now coaching a defense that has some chips in it, and then a lot of young, potential, really solid talent. And offensively, again, like I said, they finally are building it right. Joe Douglas, there's a reason he was the most sought-after GM candidate back before the Jets hired him. Robert Saleh was the most sought-after, or one of the most sought-after head coaching candidates. I think Zach Wilson's a really solid bet for Rookie of the Year this year because the offensive system is just about the same one he ran in college. They built a wall around him with the offensive line, and he's got weapons. I'm not saying the Jets are going to come out here and win 9-10 games. They'll probably finish around – I got to get my math right here because it's 17 games now. They'll probably finish around 6-11, 7-10. They're a step away probably. They are this year, I think, what the Dolphins were not last year but the year before that, where we started to see it from them when Flores came in. And it's the same thing. Rookie head coach now, Saleh, like Flores was a couple years ago, where like the good things are coming. They're still a step away from being really good. I'm not going to get all into the Jets yet and say they'll overtake your Dolphins, but not too far in the rearview mirror. Objects in rearview are closer than they appear.
Joe, I just need you, when you go back up into that Northeast area, I need you to do me one favor. I want you to tell them to please, for one game, just for one game, I want to see them play James Morgan. Just for one game.
He's probably going to enter
Captain Morgan.
Probably going to enter the season as the backup because the Jets have not signed a veteran. So you never know. You never know. It's one injury away, and it could happen. But I do like him a lot. Like the reason Joe Douglas drafted him was to pretty much be as a bonus coach in the quarterback room. He loves his just mindset, the way he sees the game. He's already looking at him as a coach. The guy's in his second year, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. If somebody drafts you to be kind of like an extra coach, but like if Zach Wilson something happened, I'd be confident and excited to see him go out there. I'm looking forward to seeing preseason this year. We didn't have preseason last year, and that's where we would have gotten to take a look at him. Now we got 3 preseason games this year, so I'm actually excited to see it.
I'd be very happy. I mean, I think the entire FIU community would be very happy to see James Morgan come out there. At least, just start one game for the love of God. Because like with Magoo, that guy's been bouncing around the entire NFL, being a backup basically in every team in the NFL. He's never gotten a clear chance to start. But obviously, I think James Morgan is much better. So I would just love to see one day, just see James Morgan get the start for the Jets.
I'll give him one. If he proves himself, he can get another.
Well, they'll probably put him in. They'll definitely put him in preseason, like second half, fourth quarter. They'll run him some snaps for sure. Definitely. But in a game, you better hope Zach Wilson gets hurt because he's not playing over Zach Wilson. I want to see how Zach Wilson plays against Dolphins defense. Their cornerbacks are good. Bills defense is good. Patriots defense is good. Zach Wilson isn't going against some bad defenses. He's going against some good defenses. So
absolutely.
Is Xavier Howard back at camp yet?
I don't think so.
He was missing out.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't know. He wants to get paid. When I saw his contract, I was like, Jesus, he had 10 interceptions and he's getting paid that much?
Wait. You told me he wants to get paid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's why he's
you know who can pay him, right? Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
No,
Jerry
he
Jones
doesn't
got
want
that
to go
money.
to the Cowboys. No, he doesn't. He wants to stay in sunny South Florida. Like he just had the Dolphins are gonna pay him. Like who has 10 interceptions in a season? Darrelle Revis. Like nobody. That's unheard of. He should have won Defensive Player of the Year, but
now the counterpoint to that is if he had that many interceptions, it means that quarterbacks weren't afraid to throw at him, which brings his coverage into question. Now, the reason that guys like Darrelle Revis and Pat Peterson don't really have that many interceptions is because you're not even throwing at them. Because
I think the last person to have 10 was Darrelle Revis. I believe so.
It might have been. But I remember after that year where Darrelle Revis had a lot of interceptions, the next couple of years
they
he had
throw to him
2 because they stopped throwing at him.
So, all right, so that's what I think they're going to do this year.
We'll see if this is that year.
Yeah, he caught 10. Now they're like, hey, we're gonna go throw against Byron Jones. So I think that's how it'll be this year. But
Byron Jones, Jerry could have paid Byron Jones. He didn't pay Byron Jones.
Nah, he didn't pay him either. He wants to pay Dak and Zeke. He wants to pay Dak and Zeke. And
Like, guys,
Dak
you guys understand that my football life is very sad. Well, Joe can relate. You understand me. You understand.
I can relate, but here's the thing. At least the Jets in my lifetime in 2009 and 10 made it to the AFC Championship games. So as bad as the last 10 years since then have been, I at least have that experience.
We got robbed, Joe. We got robbed. It should have been. Dez should have caught it. He should have. That was a catch.
It absolutely was a catch. It absolutely was.
We would have been in the NFC Championship away at Seattle, which we had already beat Seattle on the road that year. We probably would have beat Seattle. We would have been in the Super Bowl against New England. I'm not doubting Brady, but I think Dallas has a way better team than New England.
You gotta play Seattle. You gotta play Seattle first.
I think we're making a lot of leaps here. They would have had to beat Seattle at Seattle and then Tom Brady.
Legion of Boom.
With Legion of Boom, with Richard Sherman and all the dogs on that defense, you think you're going to go into Seattle and beat them? Woo!
We did that year. We went into Seattle that year and we won. DeMarco Murray ran over that defense.
Playoffs is just different. That's a different ball game right there. I don't know.
After all that, would have been Tom Brady against Dak Prescott in the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, guys.
I don't take Tom Brady. I don't really like Tom Brady, but I'll take that 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what? It was the world will never know.
Well, the Jets have gone to more AFC championships than the Cowboys have. How much money have the Cowboys spent on players?
This is true.
Jesus.
This is true. So
what am I gonna do? I think Jerry Jones needs to step down. He needs to hire somebody else to take over the role. I just think he wants so much control of the Cowboys, and that's just not leading them to success, and everybody's seeing that. So I think once he steps down and doesn't control, I think the Cowboys will be in good hands because they got the money to spend.
Around the horn, which team do you think Aaron Rodgers lands in? Joe, your pick. What team do you think he lands in?
Assuming we're saying he's not in Green Bay, which is I think what we're all saying. I think the Raiders trade Derek Carr and every pick they could kind of get their hands on to put him in that offense. John Gruden loves him, so.
Interesting. So we got the Raiders. Jordan, your pick.
I haven't even thought about it.
Don't you dare say the Dolphins.
No, the Dolphins are rocking with Tua. I mean, I think they should they should at least propose something. But I think they're rocking with Tua. I don't think they'll go with I honestly don't know. I don't know of a team maybe Carolina needs a quarterback. I know they got Sam Darnold from the Jets, but I don't know. I mean, also what's his team? Maybe the Falcons don't want Matt Ryan anymore. I don't know. Like he said, Raiders would be excellent. That's a really good team. I don't know who the Broncos are, who their quarterback is.
Their quarterback is a bunch of dudes right now. It's Drew Lock, it's Teddy Bridgewater. They got a lot of options.
Yeah, so teams that really need a quarterback I think maybe the Packers are going to want draft picks because they really don't want free agents they don't want players for some reason. They don't like picking up free agents. I don't get it. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a team.
Isaac, your pick.
I was gonna say the Raiders actually, but I'll just keep it going with the Broncos. And maybe they trade some early picks, and they have some solid players on their defense. So maybe the Packers bulk up on defense instead of going quarterback because they already have Jordan Love or an offensive player. So I don't know, Broncos.
Or maybe the 49ers.
Broncos,
the 49ers as well.
There was going into the draft, corner wasn't their biggest need, the Broncos, and it was a surprise to some people when they took Patrick Surtain the second or junior, I forgot which one he goes by, when they took him at number 9, I think it was, or 8. They took him top 10. So again, this was before June 1st, obviously, and a Rodgers trade couldn't happen until after June 1st. So it kind of got the wheels turning. Like, all right, did they draft him with the intention of, hey, he could be a massive trade chip to the Packers who desperately need a corner? And then worst case scenario, if a trade doesn't happen, hey, we keep an elite corner. So like maybe that was kind of in their thought process. But yeah, that one would kind of fit.
Look at this take. Aaron to the Patriots. How do you guys feel about that?
It's not happening.
Kill me.
It's not happening.
Like if that happens, just
I think he'd thrive there because like they went ahead and signed Jonnu Smith and they got my guy, the tight end from the Chargers, whose name is escaping me right now. They signed them both. Yeah, Hunter Henry. They signed them both to kind of go with the whole Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez minus the criminal acts sort of deal again together, plus all their like secondary receivers. Like they got some talent. And Aaron Rodgers would pick defenses apart with that. So,
yep. I was thinking 49ers as well because maybe they get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. I know he's been hurt and stuff like that. Maybe
porn star Jimmy.
They got a good offense, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. And I know mandatory training camp is coming up. So
I think for me, it's hard. I mean, it's really hard, but I'm gonna have to go with either Atlanta or Seattle.
Atlanta would be tough because of the money. Just because, like, I know, like, Matt Ryan's contract is astonishing, and there's no way to get out of it. So you'd probably have to find like another team and then take Matt Ryan. Seattle's the one I said, like, it's so outside the box, but like, if Russell Wilson's truly not happy, he would have no problem going to Green Bay, where he played his final year of college at Wisconsin. So he's got ties to that community. He'd have no problem going there. Rodgers would get to be out on the West Coast, closer to LA, and doing all the stuff with Jeopardy that he probably wants to do. And his now fiance, or I don't know if they got married yet officially, is an actress. Yeah. So you're out on the West Coast. You're way closer to LA than you are from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And it's on a team that you have DK Metcalf, and you got plenty of other options too, and Tyler Lockett, and so on and so forth. So everybody wins. Everybody's happy. And the Packers, that they're owned by the community. It's publicly owned. They don't have an owner. They're always trying to look to the future and be consistently good, so it helps the community thrive with the local restaurants and stuff. I mean, that's part of their decision-making process all the time. That's why they took Rodgers when Favre was still there, and it's why they took Jordan Love. Russell Wilson's not young, but he's younger than Rodgers, and it kind of resets the clock by 4 or 5 years on having to deal with finding a new quarterback. So it could work out, but it's way too big and crazy for it to happen. So only in our minds. I know
that. That'll be crazy. That'll be a crazy trade. I mean, it's a blockbuster trade. That'll be insane. But I mean, you said it out perfectly. It would probably work out for both teams. You know, you're not losing your elite quarterback because you're getting another one. So yeah, I just don't see. It's just too big of a trade, in my opinion.
Something that happened that I didn't see it coming was Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans. Around the horn. What did you guys think of that? I certainly did not see that coming. I certainly saw that he wasn't going to the Cowboys after Shannon Sharp exposed him on national television. But that was crazy. I didn't see that. And now Jordan's going to run his mouth because he thinks Tannehill's the GOAT. But
no, I don't think he's a GOAT, but I think he's really good. When he was in Miami, everybody hated him. They thought he was so bad, and look, now he's in a perfect situation. He's got receivers, he's got an offense, he's got an O-line, and look how good they were. They beat the Ravens 2 years ago. I know they lost to them last year, but with Julio Jones now, I don't know if the Ravens are going to stop them. I don't know. I think they're going to be I like them going deep. I like them going deep run in the playoffs with Julio Jones. Deep run in the playoffs.
I don't think it has that big of an impact. Honestly, like I don't mean to like just kind of undercut it here, because it could if he's healthy. But last year, like he's in his 30s now, 32, 33, he's up there. We saw last year he only played 9 games, and he like fought through some of the games he did play. The couple years preceding that, he only missed 1 or 2 games, but, and I know this because I had him in fantasy, every week I was checking to see, like, he was questionable. Oh, he had a foot. Oh, he had a groin. Is he going to play? Is he 100%? He played, but he never really played at 100% the last couple seasons before last year. When he was out there, his numbers are ridiculous, but he's just like another year older now. And then on top of all of that, you know damn well that Mike Vrabel wants to just run halfback dive with Derrick Henry every single play.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. And look, they had Corey Davis and lost him. Corey Davis is not Julio Jones, but is Corey Davis probably 75% of the current present day no longer peak form Julio Jones? Probably. And is that 25% from present day Corey Davis to present day Julio Jones going to put them over the top? I don't know. And again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm comparing Corey Davis to Julio Jones. Totally different stratospheres of Julio in his prime. Julio's not in his prime anymore. So
that's an ice cold take, by the way.
That is a very ice cold take.
I could see to go back to the main subject. I could see them going on a run. But the big question with Tennessee is not their offense. You know, they just, this is another piece that they added. And if they do run all day, that bootleg play action is going to be nasty with A.J. Brown on one side. You know, if you go, wing T, classic, just one receiver. Or if you have the second receiver, Julio Jones. If he's healthy, we'll see. But the big question with Tennessee for me is their defense. Their pass rush hasn't been the same last couple of years, and it's killed them. If you can't get to the quarterback, your corners and safeties, no matter how great they are, they're going to get burned eventually throughout the game. So I like it. I like the move, but I don't know if that will get them to the Super Bowl. Maybe it'll get them past Baltimore or to the AFC Championship. But will this be I guess a move that moves this team towards winning a championship? I don't think so.
Well, they picked up a cornerback and two cornerbacks in the draft. I mean, one was in the first round. Yeah. So I don't know. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones.
It's great. We'll see. Will they end up like the Cleveland Browns, like Cleveland, who had we were going crazy a couple years, not we, but the general public were going crazy with Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. Now it's like,
which is something I will never do again. And Jordan knows I drafted Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham together in fantasy, and I'm never doing that. I'm never drafting Odell Beckham ever again in fantasy.
Well, I just think it's different because like the Browns weren't proven. Like they didn't really do anything. Like the Tennessee Titans have been to the AFC Championship, so like I don't know. That's why I see it different than the Browns. The Browns were just overly hyped.
For me, there's too many ifs for the Titans. Now, if the answer to all of the ifs is yes, they could be dangerous. But it's if Ryan Tannehill continues his pace. It's if the wheels finally don't fall off Derrick Henry. Because, I mean, the guy is superhuman. But you look back at the carries he had in college and the carries he's had in the pros, that's just more carries than any running back has ever had in that short of a span. Like, again, he looks like a superhero, and he might be able to take it. But if the wheels fall off, if Julio Jones can stay healthy, if all these additions, all the rookies can help the defense, that's 4 ifs right there. And if you dive deeper, you can find more. So that's the only problem. Again, if the answer to all those is yes, sure. But if the answer to 2 of those is yes, maybe they're an 11-6 team that makes it to the second round of the playoffs and then loses to a Chiefs or a Ravens. But if all 4 of them are yes, to be determined. I mean, then they could be scary.
Yeah, the Chiefs are always going to be in the way.
You want to know something really interesting to think about? Imagine if Julio Jones would have joined Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Oh.
Imagine that. Then there wouldn't be any issues. Both people will be happy, call it a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Rodgers would have been ecstatic. But, again, they just – I don't know if they didn't – I mean, it was Julio's decision where he wanted to go. So, I mean – but, yeah.
He wanted to go to the GOAT, Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill's good, man. People trashed him so much in Miami. And
I was one of the ones that trashed him.
Yeah, man.
Life after Adam Gase,
because he couldn't stay healthy,
Life after Adam Gase. That's why I have high hopes now for Sam Darnold with the Panthers and that offense. You wait and see.
Yeah.
Life after Gase.
Hey, man. I've had life with Jason Garrett for like 12 years. And now I don't like Mike McCarthy either. And now I'm dealing with Mike McCarthy.
I think Mike McCarthy is better than Jason Garrett. I mean,
for sure. For sure, but I still don't like Mike McCarthy.
You don't gotta see anything else about Adam Gase except for the fact that you look at all the head coaches that have like recently been fired from the NFL. Like they all find a job somewhere else, whether it's as an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You haven't heard his name mentioned anywhere. Nobody wants the guy. His offensive coordinator, Dowell Loggins, became a offensive consultant for Penn State. Like I've never seen this before, where a head coach and offensive coordinator get fired. One of them is way down the totem pole on Penn State, and the other one is not on any job. He's probably sitting at home finally getting to know his family, because remember that story that came out where like he was with the Broncos still and his wife was giving birth, and he like left the hospital as soon as the baby popped out. So maybe he'll actually get to know his family now. He's not at the football facility drawing up terrible plays, terrible teams. So.
With his big eyes.
Honestly, the guy always looks like he's either intoxicated or high when he's at the presser.
Maybe both. You never know.
Maybe both.
Yeah, he has to be. Like sometimes the way he answers questions and his eyes are like that's not normal. Maybe he's just like so stressed out because he just is not good at his job.
Straight up looks like there's a bee flying around him.
I think he was
trying to follow the
Jordan.
bee and make sure he doesn't get stung. Like it's.
Yeah, but yeah, I haven't heard of him, and I don't know what his like. What's his resume like? What does he bring to a team and say, "Hey, hire me"? Like, there's nothing that could convince me to hire.
Hey, you need the number one pick. I can help you get the number one pick.
That's about it. That's a good one. That's funny.
It's a tanking plan. Hey, we heard you're really good at losing and tanking. You want to come in and help us tank so we can get the number one pick? Call 1-800 Adam Gase. We're gonna move into a terrible take now that I actually snooped and saw on Joe's Twitter, where he had the Netherlands.
We're toast. Bracket is toast. I had Netherlands, France in the final.
Jordan.
Damn.
Joe had the Netherlands in the Euro final. The Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands.
I don't know what that was about.
But
look, Czech Republic came through. The red card helped out. It was more of the path kind of opened up for them and like a matchup thing, because in the top half of the bracket, like the big upset that I'm kind of looking at, and don't take my word for it because you've seen how bad my bracket's gone so far, I could see Sweden giving either England or Germany trouble because they played such incredible defense, Sweden. It took, a wonder strike from Lewandowski to get a goal, and then a broken down play late in the game for Lewandowski to get another goal. But they actually score goals. They're actually low-key really strong. Made it to the last World Cup by beating Italy in the playoff. They're in a World Cup qualifying group with Spain, so they hold their own against Spain. They've got more talent than people realize. So the way it was looking, I thought maybe, all right, they get the matchup against Czech Republic, who was arguably the weakest of the teams that was still alive in the round of 16. And then Denmark, as much as I love Denmark and everybody wants to see him win, Netherlands, Denmark, it's a very favorable matchup for the Netherlands, who could have probably picked them apart. And then Czech Republic goes ahead and does it. So you know what? I had them on one side. I had France winning it all. So my bracket's toast. If this was March Madness, it's like the first weekend where you lose 3 Final Four teams and that's it. So done. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken the Netherlands as well against the Czech Republic. I mean, I've watched all the French games. I know they played. I saw the Portugal game, and they played. Who's the other team they played?
Germany and
Belgium.
Germany and Belgium, and they just. I didn't make a bracket, but I didn't think that they just. I don't know. There was some times where they just didn't look like they were the number one team in the world, and so like sometimes I was questioning it. I didn't think they would lose today. There was no chance I would say they would lose today. But after seeing them play their group games, I thought they needed to really dominate their group for me to say, okay, they're going to win it easily. But, even though, of course, they were with Portugal and Germany, Belgium, like, I don't know. In their games, they didn't really look like the number one team in the world as I expected them to dominate with all the stars that they had. But, hey, soccer's fun. I mean, it only takes one goal to make a big difference. So France goes down, and we'll see what happens. Spain's lucky that they're not playing France. Spain's lucky, but Spain isn't bad. They just scored 5 goals at back-to-back games. I mean, if you could score 5 goals,
just like to break records of how many times you can pass the ball.
Danny, do you think Morata and their attack, like Spain's attack, is back, or what's your opinion on them?
Look, when they won the World Cup, their form of attack was David Villa, and they've always, even during that time, they've always been lacking a number 9 who you can say, wow, you got to watch out for that guy because he's dangerous. I think the reason why they won that World Cup, aside from David Villa scoring those goals, was because he was being fed by Xavi and Andres Iniesta, who in that time were in their prime, and they were just phenomenal. That's why Barcelona had success during that time. But still, right now, I mean, they don't have that number 9 where you can say, wow, this guy is a really prolific goal scorer. He's very dangerous. You have to watch out for him. I feel bad for Morata because this guy has had to go to a psychologist. And this is serious, people were telling him that his children should die and that he's been getting death threats just because he's been struggling to score. And at the end of the day, yes, it's a game and people are very passionate about it, but you can't threaten somebody's life and it's his family who have nothing to do with it. Like, you can't do that. But no, Spain's attack, it comes from their midfield. Their midfield's the one that helps Spain's attack win games.
Okay.
Well,
that's what I would say.
What are the games tomorrow?
Tomorrow is England, Germany, and then Sweden, Ukraine.
England, Germany.
All right.
I think England goes home tomorrow.
I got no feeling for that game. I have no feel on it at all. I could go either way. Both England and Germany were both underwhelming in the group stage. Harry Kane, if you rub your eyes and squint, he starts turning into Morata, and they're pretty much the same guy right now. But Morata broke through today with an incredible goal. So maybe Harry Kane can do it tomorrow too against Germany. Matchup-wise, again, they're kind of even, and they're both underwhelming. And Germany was a late goal by Goretzka away from losing to Hungary and having Hungary out of that group come through. So I don't trust either team. And like I said, that's why I felt, and again, don't take my brackets word for it because I had France and Netherlands in the final, but that's why I had my big upset being Sweden beating whoever wins this game. I don't care if it's England. I don't care if it's Germany. I think Sweden's very underrated, very structurally sound, and they will be able to exploit either Germany or England the way that they have shown cracks in the foundation this past 2 weeks,
Yeah, I personally think, for me, I think England gets past Germany. England's been underwhelming in the group stage, but Germany, if you look at them, even from 2018 in the World Cup till now, they've just been they defeated Portugal. They showed some sign of brilliance, but still, Germany has been really struggling in the last couple of years, just as a federation, as a whole. I just see England. England does have some good star power on that squad, and I think that they get past Germany.
Well, I think once you get to that World Cup level, like Germany, and Spain, once you get to that top elite level, there's just only way down, especially with World Cups being played every 4 years and the Euros every 4 years. 4 years is a lot, This is so. I'm probably gonna go with Germany as well. Or no, you went with England?
I went with England.
I think Germany will win that game, even though I'm gonna go for England. But back to the France thing. Once Hungary, it was a draw, 1-1.
Yeah,
I was France, what's going on? I don't
something
know.
mentally. They just can't.
You got all this star power. What is going on?
I didn't kill them over that game just because it was in Hungary and it was their first game with a full stadium. So it was very, very emotional. 70,000 screaming people and true road game for France. And because France won the first game against Germany, they were going through with a point. So I can see that. And it was kind of like the England game against Scotland where England didn't play their best, but they didn't have to because all they needed really was a point. And that's kind of the thing with big tournament soccer like this is just because you see a team draw against a lesser team doesn't necessarily mean they're not as good as you think they were. They probably took that game lightly because they don't need it, and that's probably why the U.S. got a lot of help in the 2014 World Cup when the U.S. Had that game against Germany, and they were in it the whole time. So it happens at this level.
I personally think now, and I'm not being biased, but I do think that Spain gets a favorable matchup against Switzerland. It won't be easy, but it's a favorable matchup, and they have a good path to get to the final, surprisingly. And after they inserted, so the first 2 games, because of a COVID issue, Spain did not have Sergio Busquets. They insert him into the lineup in that last game against Slovakia. Look what happened. 5 goals. They play against Croatia today, 5 goals. I think they have a good chance now that the tournament's opened up for them to make it to the final, surprisingly.
Who does I know Belgium just beat Portugal. Who do they face next?
Belgium, Italy. And then Spain, Belgium, Switzerland plays the winner of Belgium, Italy. Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne are both out for the Italy game, but they are both back if they still beat Italy and make it to the semis. They announced already they will both be. It's a 1-week injury for both. They will play the semis. They will not play the quarters. If they get through, they will be healthy for Spain.
Hot take. I think Italy has a chance to make it to the final.
They're not playing because of injury?
Injury, yeah.
Wow. I think he'll be okay without them.
I do too. I think Belgium's a better team. I think Italy and Portugal for me were 2 opposite things. So Italy, I think the media really built them up because they beat up on some bad teams in their group. They had by far the weakest group, and all 3 of their games were at home in Rome. And that left an impression on people's minds. And everybody was like, oh, this team is way up here, when in reality they're probably like down here. Portugal, since have been eliminated in a tough game against a really good team, I think people forget that it wasn't just Ronaldo. They had a lot of other talent too, and people thought they were here, but really they were here. So those 2 teams kind of like were opposite for me the whole tournament, and I was kind of curious to see how it would have looked if Portugal played Italy, but then obviously Belgium got the win. But I don't think Italy is all that. I mean, they don't really have a true goal-scoring threat. It kind of is by committee, and you got to hope for the best. The first time they were truly tested against a good team playing away from Rome, they should have lost to Austria. I mean, they were maybe a half an inch. They were 1 spaghetti strand away from losing to Austria in that game, and that was it. And they go on to win it in extra time because of the VAR decision, which was a correct decision, but they were that close to being gone. After all the work they did in the group stage, they were that close to being gone.
Give them Isaac. Give them the Italian hands.
It's my people. I can say it.
Kevin De Bruyne is he's a monster. So not having him I think it's still a big loss. But I mean, this guy that guy's a monster. But I don't know. I think Belgium probably wins that game. Like what you were saying, they really had a very weak group. But maybe without Kevin De Bruyne, I don't know. Maybe Italy pulls through. Because I don't want to say that they've been playing bad.
No, they haven't been.
They haven't.
It was Thorgan Hazard, not even Eden Hazard, who scored. It was his brother.
Yeah, his brother.
I don't think they need Eden Hazard, but they need De Bruyne. So Lukaku's going to have to put the team on his back. And the unsung heroes of Belgium are the defense and Courtois, and they're going to have to step up in a big way. They might have to grind this game out 1-0, maybe take it to penalties. They're going to have to grind it out.
I wish Belgium and Portugal didn't play each other in the round of 16. Yeah. I wish that didn't happen. That was too good of a matchup for both teams to get eliminated. But it is what it is.
Around the horn, who do you guys think takes Euro 2020?
Well, now that France and the Netherlands are gone for me, I'm afraid to say this. I'm afraid to say this because of the reaction it's going to give from all 3 of you for different reasons. The way I see the board looking now, I actually really like Spain. I actually really like Spain. The way I see the board.
There we go.
Don't even get him started. Don't get him
started. I hate to get this started, but I'll say this. The problem for Spain will be Belgium.
Yes,
assuming they get through Switzerland, which I do think they will, they should be rooting for Italy. I think they're a much better matchup against Italy because Italy is trying to be Spain in the way they're playing stylistically. Yeah. And you can't just try to beat Spain against Spain. So Spain's going to dominate that game and probably win it, I would say 2-0. So Spain would have to root for Italy. If Belgium wins and De Bruyne and Hazard are both back 100%, I think Belgium beats Spain. But kind of like we were saying with the Titans, that's too many ifs for me to be relying on right now. It's if Belgium beats Italy, and then if those guys are healthy is when I would say Spain would lose. But I'm not going to read into all those ifs. So Spain right now is the most secure team out of that side of the bracket. And the right side of the bracket, like I said, it's what's it going to be? I mean, okay, Denmark's going to probably win their game. I mean, well, I shouldn't say it that easily against Czech Republic, but I do think Denmark will win. So Denmark probably wins. I think whether England, Germany, or Sweden, that team probably beats Denmark. And all of a sudden, all right, Spain, England, is that looking too scary? Spain, Sweden, is that looking too scary? Spain, Germany, is that looking too scary? So I like Spain. I really do.
Joe, you made me a happy guy, man. You made my night. Thank you.
But you probably don't want me picking Spain because you saw what happened to France and the Netherlands. So you probably don't want me picking them.
Take it back. Actually, yeah, take it back. Say something else. Say another thing.
Italy's gonna win
it. Jordan,
I'm just gonna go with Belgium. If they come back healthy, I just think they're gonna win.
These guys, with France they just don't want to say Spain. They just don't want to give me the satisfaction.
No,
I don't. We don't.
You put 5 goals up against Slovakia. Like, you're proud of that? Like, come on.
I am proud of it. It got us to the next round.
Come on. Whatever. I'm going to take Belgium.
Okay.
My first pick for this whole tournament was France. That went out the window. So Belgium. I'll take Belgium.
Okay, so we got 2 Spains and 2 Belgiums.
I'll go with Spain. It comes down to that. Like I said, if Belgium would go through against Italy and had their full health, I would probably lean Belgium. I just don't want to count on all those ifs lining up. That's all.
Yeah. No, it's understandable.
Danny, you should call Steven to break the tie.
I should. I'm gonna call Steven right now.
Call we did this to break the tie.
We gotta break the tie.
I just know he's not gonna pick Spain.
This is the first year that I've actually watched as many games as I have before, and I love it. I'm used to just watch. I'm used to just watching World Cup, and that's it. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes I wish the World Cup was every 2 years because waiting 4 years is I feel
like it would cheapen if it was every 2 years, but they started talking about moving it to maybe every 3. I could get behind 3 years. 3 years is long enough where
I can get behind 3 years.
3 years is long enough where it keeps the same mystique around it, and it's long enough where the players.
Hold up, guys. Steven is calling. Steven is calling.
Yeah, I got you. The 4 years is brutal.
What's up, bro? You're live on the Plug Talk Sports Show. We need you to break a tiebreaker here.
Okay.
So right now, as winners of Euro 2020, myself and our guests.
Don't tell him the tie. I wanna know who he has winning.
Wait. Let me explain to him. As winners of Euro 2020. Myself and our guest
He might not have our teams winning. He might not have our teams winning.
Spain winning Euro 2020. Both Isaac and Jordan have Belgium. Who do you think is going to win Euro 2020?
Since the beginning, I have had Belgium.
Oh.
Wait a minute now, but you have to take into account that both De Bruyne and Hazard are out for the next game.
The De Bruyne injury does concern me, but I think Belgium will handle Italy in the next round. So I got Belgium.
The main concern
you can't tell me you're confident with Spain over the way they've been playing.
Hey, Joe seems confident in Spain.
I don't know, man. I don't see they seem a little too shaky for me.
Joe says that if Belgium wins, that will be Spain's biggest test. But he says if Italy wins, then Spain has a pretty good breeze to the final.
I mean, they do. If Italy wins, then Italy would be the best team, for Spain to face. So I would still give it to Belgium though, because I don't think they're losing.
Okay, so we get 3 Belgiums and 2 Spains. Steven breaks the tie. We thank you for contributing tonight in some sort of fashion. You couldn't make it out here tonight, but we thank you for picking up the call and for breaking this very important tie.
Always. You know I'm here.
Take care, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, guys, so there we go. We got Belgium breaking the tie against Spain.
Same thought as me, though, like he said. If it's Italy, he likes Spain. But if it's Belgium, he likes Belgium. So
I just think Spain got so lucky. Like their spot in the bracket is so lucky. Like you're so lucky. And especially France losing, like even luckier. So
coming in second place instead of Sweden turned out to be the best thing to happen to Spain. If they would have won that group instead of coming in second, they would have faced Ukraine, which would have been easy. But then they would have faced either England or Germany right away. Now they got to play Croatia, who was not anywhere near the team that was in 2018.
Yep.
And they get lucky and get to face Switzerland. So
they gave up how many goals to Croatia? 3? 3 goals to Croatia?
2. I mean, the other one was,
Yeah.
Uncle. Yeah, Uncle. But that's bad. Like, come on. This is we're on like a world stage here. Like that's just bad. But dude, I don't watch as much soccer as you guys, and dude, I'm like I said, I'm only like a World Cup type USA fan type thing. But dude, I'm loving watching these European countries face off. Like this is the first time I'm trying to watch as many games as possible because it's so fun. Like it's the hype, the fans, shirtless drums. Like it's awesome. Like sometimes I'm like, because I love USA. I'm like, dude, I wish like the USA could just be like just that one team they put in there. I want to root for the USA, like because I like Ronaldo, so I just root for Portugal. But I wish USA. Like I know that they beat Mexico, which I was super excited. That was a crazy game. I bought the shirt after they won. I was super excited, but I just wish the US faced more of those top countries more often. Because our top game is Mexico, and then that's really it.
Well, guys, this was another productive episode. Again, we always end the episodes with a trivia question. Let's see if you guys get it.
It better be a soccer one.
And no, it's not a soccer one actually.
Oh,
it's a basketball one.
Ooh.
Oh, go for it.
In 2013. The Miami Heat had a 27-game winning streak. Which team did they beat first to start the streak, and which team snapped the streak?
So this is 2 questions.
Yeah.
I would say the team that they started with, or that they beat to start the streak, was the Knicks. I'm throwing that out there. No?
I think the Bucks ended it.
No.
I don't know why I have a feeling like the game that they lost was a game they shouldn't have lost. And I'm gonna say the Bobcats were one of them. I don't know. I think the Bobcats were one of them. No?
Which one do you guys want to know first?
Ooh. Well, man, that's a good.
I'm pretty sure I remember them losing to like a bad team.
Like the Nets?
No?
Nope.
They lost to a good team?
Yep.
Oof.
It's a team.
Celtics.
It's a team that they would. It's a team, not the Celtics, but it's a team that they would face later on in the playoffs.
Mavericks?
Pacers?
Wait, no, 2013.
Spurs?
We're gonna just name the whole NBA now.
I mean, OKC. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We're just grasping at straws now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got no clue. I'm gonna say one more team. They started it against somebody terrible like I guess they weren't terrible back then. They were good back then. The Bulls, were they started against the Bulls?
You got to reverse. The Bulls were the team that snapped the streak.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Was that like around
in Chicago?
Still like Joakim Noah and all them? Like, damn, that's a while ago.
Yep. Carlos Boozer, Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose. They snapped the streak in March, I believe, at United Center.
Yeah, it was an away game because I remember that stadium was going nuts.
Yep.
I don't remember who. I don't know who. I didn't know it was the Bulls, but I just remember that arena was going crazy because obviously the Heat were on a big win streak.
And
who they started off with?
They started off a lot closer than you think. They started the streak off with the Orlando Magic.
That's a good one.
Nice.
So that was this week's trivia question. I actually wanted this one to be a little bit of challenging, a little bit entertaining and interesting. It was a pretty good one. I was proud of this trivia question this week.
That's a good one. I like that.
Joe, I appreciate you being on, man. I'm sure that you will make other appearances on the Plug Talk Sports Show. It's great to reconnect with you and talk back and forth every now and then. Maybe sometime soon we'll be in the broadcast booth.
Absolutely.
Commentating some USL together.
Sounds good, man. You guys can always reach out. I'll always reach out anytime. Always happy to be a guest. If you guys ever need anything professionally, personally, you let me know. I'm down here for this season until November. And then we'll see what holds after that. But getting into busy season now. Season's really picking up. It was a really slow start to the year because a lot of teams still like unsure of how things would work with COVID. So many of them like deferred their first like month of the season to start later. And it made it for like a weird start to the season where like right now at this moment, there's a bunch of teams that have played like 12 games and a bunch of teams that have still played like 5 or 6 games. But now is when everybody catches up. So anybody who still played like only 5 or 6 games, they play like every other third day now until like August. So it's busy season now, but I'm looking forward to it. I get a week off the week after the 4th of July. My family's coming down from Jersey with my brother, aunt, uncle, my parents. So I'm going out to the beach, not bringing a laptop. I'll bring my phone, but I'm not going to have it on. Just fully unplugged for a week to kind of regather and get ready to hit the ground running for the very, very busy summer. And I'm excited for it.
And we're happy for you, man. I'm excited to continue to follow your career and see you in the broadcast booth. And again, hopefully, man, we're together and we'll commentate one time again. And hopefully it's not some crazy experience that like we end up in like some 15-inning game or something like that.
Yeah, next thing you know, it's going to be a 17-inning game with a runner starting on second base, and the inning is going to get stopped 3 times for a sticky stuff check from the umpire.
This is true. This could very well happen. But for myself, Isaac, Jordan, another great episode. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone watching. We'll see you guys next week for a new episode.
And Isaac, lay off that Cuban coffee, man. Too much, not good for you.
Too much coladas.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night.